Hey guys, this is Apex of War, bringing you an unconventional build here. This is a crossbow bomb build. It took me a while to kind of get it viable for Death March, but I think I've managed it. As you see here, I'm using the feline crossbow. I don't have any crossbow preferences. I just feel like this build's for fun. So if you guys want to have fun and try something different in the game, this is your chance here. And as you see, I'm using the 3 crossbow abilities there. I didn't elect for the last one, I just didn't feel like it was all too important in comparison to the other 3. And I wanted to save some ability slots here. I've got a lot that I'm packing into this build, so I don't have a whole lot of extra ability slots to spare for knickknacks. Now I am using fast attacks here as well, and they're kind of a supplement for the bombs and for the crossbow. And you'll see why in just a moment when I get to some of the other abilities. Hunter's Instinct and Killing Spree, running both of those. The crossbow does generate a lot of adrenaline points, so that's where Hunter's Instinct and Killing Spree go well together. Get you some extra fast attack damage if you're needing to whip your sword out. Synergy, using that because I have found that it seems like attack power does increase your crossbow damage. So I wanted to go ahead and get the mutagen bonuses for that. Catskill techniques, what's interesting here is that the critical hit damage added by this does affect your crossbow or your crossbow bolts. So definitely running with that in this build. That along again with the fast attacks that I'm running as well. Trick shot, really helpful if you're shooting your crossbow a lot. You don't want to have to reload every single time, so every other time. And then here I really like this, really amps up the damage on the bombs. Now you get less bombs in your inventory, but you make up for that with this here, which increases your total inventory on your bombs by 5, so you end up getting like 4 or 5 bombs for like the grape shot. I think the northern wind and those ones that have higher numbers, those are up to 9 if I believe. If I believe I'm right there. Cluster bombs, what happens is when you throw like a grape shot, it'll be like throwing 6 grape shots. So it hits and then it sprouts these cluster bombs that act like grape shots as well. And I'm also running acquired tolerance and heightened tolerance. Well, here I end up changing it from poison blades. I felt like heightened tolerance would be better so I wouldn't ding myself on toxicity damage. Because I am running 3 decoctions in this build. Water Hag decoction, the 50% damage from the Water Hag does carry over to the crossbow. So I wanted to run that. I run the Ekimara again, I like the vampire ability of it. And I run the Cockatrice decoction, which grants me 1 additional charge on my bombs and potions. There we go, and you see my bomb slot there. I've got 4 bombs in the bomb slot currently. I think that's grape shot, and there you go. Now I've got 5. So that's what that decoction does. So it just gives me an extra bomb. Rolling into the gameplay here, you see I'm just picking on city guards like I usually do for these videos, and I was really surprised with how well this build really performed. You know, I didn't really take this build as a serious build because hell, you're using a crossbow and bombs, but it really works these guys over pretty good. Now I'm using the exploding bolts. The exploding bolts burn anything that Igni would burn, so of course I'm going to be using them against these guys. Your bolt selection does make a big difference against different enemy types, so just keep that in mind when if you're running this build and up against whatever. Keep in mind that your bolt selection definitely makes a big difference. Also, I never really covered armor, and I never really covered the weapons, the swords for this build. And that's because this is just a fun build. I didn't really want to put too many restraints on the build itself, so just use whatever swords you're using. For armor, with the cat school techniques, you want some sort of light armor like feline, or you can use any other armor as long as it's got a levity enchantment if it's not light armor. You see what the bomb damage is here. It's a pretty good bomb damage, can't complain with that. So who would have thought though that you could walk into, I'm in Oxenford right now, and who really thought that you could just go around and take out a whole group of guards like this with a crossbow build. I had to concentrate on that guy for a little bit, he was being stubborn. Now this last guy here, at least in this pack, was being a little more stubborn than I'd usually like him to be, but still just taking care of business. And as you see, I ran out of exploding bolts, especially against guards. You know, obviously you're going to use a lot of bolts because they require a lot of damage. Usually doesn't require this many bolts to take down a pack, but it is what it is. You just got to make sure you've got a good bolt inventory in your items panel. Yeah, this guy is stubborn. At this point, I'm like, really? There we go. There's an archer over there, but I just want to show you really quick that I am playing this on Death March right now. I got one more straggler to finish off here. Don't judge me too harshly on that shot. But I put a few bolts in them, realized it's going to take just too long, so I just finish them with fast attacks. Like I said, fast attacks are built into this build and are definitely viable. They won't be as strong as, say, fast attacks in my melee build, but it'll definitely get the job done when you need it to. As you see, I've got 3 adrenaline points, which goes into Hunter's Instinct, and just go to town them. Anyhow, this is, like I said, for you folks who want to try something a little different, tired of your melee build that you're using now, or your Cyan build. This is definitely something different. I don't know of any other types of builds like this available, but just wanted to show you guys kind of my rendition of a crossbolt and bomb build. Going over to my character sheet here, and like I said, here's the build. And one thing I wanted to point out that I had failed to mention was I am using cat eyes, which increases the crossbolt damage to something that's actually usable. Anyhow, I'm going to leave you guys with some additional gameplay. It's not going to be gameplay of exactly this specific build. It's kind of gameplay throughout my playtesting and really the evolution of this build to what it is right now. But, you know, it's some fun gameplay, so I figure you guys would enjoy it. Anyhow, hit the like and subscribe buttons below, and thanks for watching, guys.